Travis Thomas here, and of course, I'm not alone. Not only are you with me, which means so much to me, thank you, but also the walking, talking, triple-double, the baller himself, Ante Campbell. What it do, baby?
What's up, 2Ts? How are you feeling today?
I mean, clearly, you see by that intro, I'm fired up per usual, even though, Tay, we're in the dog days of summer.
Yep.
As it pertains to basketball, I'm still hyped up for Hold My Banner.
You are, and we could tell the players around the league are just as bored as we are of the NBA season being gone. LeBron and Steph are out there making joint Instagram posts together. You got Jaylen Brown doing songs like you singing at the beginning of this episode.
Bro, that song with – by the way, can I first give props? I'm an A$AP Ferg fan. But that song Jaylen Brown has with A$AP Ferg is trash. It is hey, Tay, I'm sorry.
Be cool, man. Be cool, man.
Tay, can we have an honest conversation, Tay?
We'll talk more about this.
Can we have an honest conversation?
We'll talk more about this
later. The only rappers who could hoop, I always thought Shaq had bars.
We'll talk about this later, Travis. Okay?
I always thought Iverson had bars.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought D-Wade had bars. But, man, Jaylen. We'll talk about it later. But Jaylen, man, come on, man. Just hoop, man. Just hoop. Tay, am I being disrespectful?
Don't tell the bro that just hoop, though.
Is that like shut up and dribble?
He said he's having a fun summer, okay? Let the man have fun. You know what I'm saying? Let the man have fun.
Is that too shut up and dribble, Tay?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll bring Tay back. He'll keep me in line per usual. I have received news from Ante, producer extraordinaire, walking, talking, triple-double, that we will not be playing a game today. So thank God for that. We'll continue our preview of all the teams in the league today. I believe it's the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but I want to start here, which is really my expertise, baby. Let's gamble. Now, I know it's the dog days of summer. However, this is the best time to gamble on your team in the offseason. And I'm looking at several bets here right in front of me for your Celtics. Now, I'll run through several of them I want to make this season, but I want to start with some team bets that I like. We'll start in the Atlantic Division. Now, this is sort of a buyer beware, so hear me out. The price for the C's to win the division is minus 180. You are not going to make any money from that. I repeat, you are not going to make any money from a minus 180 price. So instead, I like the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference at plus 145. Now, we all know the teams in contention in the East. We talk about them all the time here on Hold My Banner. Knicks, 76ers, Pacers, Bucks, we get it. We also know, though, with those teams who have all improved this offseason, I'll give you that, if healthy, the Celtics are still, even with the improvements of those teams, they're still a cut above all of them. And this is a better price for the winner with this bet at plus money, plus 145. Now, I know you're saying, well, why not take them to win the whole thing? We don't know. We assume that this team will repeat. I like them to repeat. Hell, I bet on them last year to win the title and hit the bet. And I'm still not going to go back to that well. It's just the West is too deep. Again, we bring up health. We don't know. So, you know what? I don't want to go as far as I did last year to take the Celtics to finally get the monkey off their back, get over the hump, and win the title. I'm not going to play that game this year. Just I'll take them to get back to the finals. I feel more comfortable with that. And again, I like the teams in the East. I like what the Knicks did the offseason. I love what the 76ers did. Adding a Paul George, re-signing a Tyrese Maxey. That's an investment. Doubling down on him to get better is smart. I think the Pacers, I've told you several times here, are being slept on because of the experience they gained going to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. And then we know the Bucks with Giannis and Dame finally healthy. We assume that they'll be in the mix. But even still, I'll take the Celtics to win the East, and that's where I feel good with that. And because of that, you could also bet this one. How about over 58.5 wins for the Celtics? They were so good last season. They had 64 wins last season, that even if you believe, which I happen to believe that they'll take a slight step back this season, right? I don't think they're going to win 64 games again or more. However, even with a slight step back, what are we talking here? 59, 60 wins? Could you not see that? I can. So that's why I'm willing to go over 58.5 wins for the C's. Now, those are team bets. From an individual standpoint, you can also bet this. How can you not bet at least a little something on Jason Tatum to win MVP at 18-1? I mean, nearly 20-1. You're getting one of the best players in the league who I believe will be and should be pissed off for greatness. I mean, think about this. Jaylen Brown, NBA Finals MVP, outplayed Jason Tatum all postseason long. I mean, so Jason Tatum had to hear that talk all over again. Are you the man? Are you an alpha? Are you this? Are you that? Are you the cornerstone? Are you actually this great player? So he had to hear all that again while winning a title, by the way. And then we all know the disrespect that he faced in the Olympics. Remember when Steve Kerr, the genius, said, well, it's like a complicated math equation. Why I'm not playing Jason Tatum. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, sure. All right, man. So if you're Jason Tatum, I mean, you should play this entire season with an attitude. And what have we longed for, yearned for from Jason Tatum since he's arrived? Play with an attitude. Play with an edge. Be aggressive. Be mad. Be mean. Get upset. Go out there and ball out. Lock in. So I think you're going to get that from Jason Tatum. And again, at this price, 18-1, how could you not? So those are the bets I like with the Celtics. 2 team bets. Win the Eastern Conference over on the win total, and then Tatum at MVP. Not that there's not other great players in this league. I get it. But at this price, it just makes a lot of sense to me. All right, now, I want to give props to you here. Let me give you some flowers. Kudos to you, Boston. The Connecticut Sun earlier this week played the LA Sparks in TD Garden. You showed up and showed out in a major way. And it's one of the reasons I talk about it all the time here on Hold My Banner, why Boston is unequivocally the best sports town in the country. In fact, in that game against the Sparks, which came down to the end, came down to the wire, it was an exciting game. They were chanting, beat LA, like the old days. Beat LA, beat LA. I have some numbers for you that's fascinating. Officially, third highest attendance game for the WNBA this season, and the biggest crowd ever in the history of the Connecticut Sun. Sold out crowd there at TD Garden. One of the great things, too, that makes Boston Boston is, of course, the other teams support the other teams. So in the building that night, you had Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday. Just a couple champions, gold medalists, no big deal, hanging out, supporting you. I thought it was great, showing love. Now, SunGuard, Dejanay Carrington, tweeted something that was interesting, and she thought it could have been bigger, and I happen to agree with her every word of this. This is what she said. Take a look. For our listening audience, I'll read it to you. Since we got to do our own promo, we're playing at the TD Garden tonight, and it's sold out, 19K plus. First W game here ever. Historic. Not on TV, but you can catch it right here on Twitter. Now, after the game, she doubled down. We'll get to that sound, but I completely agree with her. I thought the WNBA, and we've talked about this on Hold My Banner. You know, when you leave off a Caitlin Clark, an Angel Reese from Team USA, although I understand it because they're great players and we know they got the gold, no hate, but it's like you're not doing a great job marketing WNBA. You understand? And so you have these stars, this rookie infusion of energy and stardom, and you have this interest in your league, which is fantastic. It's a rocket ship to the moon, baby. Ratings have never been higher. Selling out tickets. You're selling out venues. But you leave those players off of the Olympic team? Like what? I completely agree here that the WNBA, even in this case, Boston showed up because it's Boston. But they didn't do a great job promoting this. After the game, Dejanay Carrington doubled down on that tweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep it real all the time. And I feel like Connecticut as a franchise is historically disrespected. So sometimes, if you want something, you got to go out there and do it yourself. So that's what I did for us. I think that there could have been a lot more publicity or promo from the top. Connecticut had announced that we were having this game probably over almost a year ago, maybe. I don't know. Sometime right after last season. So there was ample time to do what needed to be done. But it didn't matter anyway, because they showed up and it was sold out. We got the dub. So I guess my tweet worked. And the game should have been on a national television broadcast. You shouldn't have to pay for any type of subscription to see a game that's this historic, in my opinion. I'm biased, but in my opinion.
Your opinion is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Spot on across the board. And listen, I'm so glad she said the Connecticut Sun put this out over a year ago. The Sun did their job. They did their job. Boston, you did your job supporting this. It's the WNBA, man. It's a league issue. And listen, I'm not the commissioner. I'm not anybody other than just a loudmouth. But I tell you one damn thing. If I did run the WNBA, I would consider strongly, and I'd probably do it knowing me because I'm nuts. I would have a change of marketing. Honestly, I mean, not to go all Game of Thrones at you, but all of them would have to go. And I'd have a whole new regime come in. Because I just don't think they do a great job of marketing what they have. They have right now in this league, in the WNBA, they literally have lightning in a bottle. You don't catch that often. And when you do, you must take advantage of it. You got to squeeze all the juice out of that lemon. And I just don't feel like the WNBA is doing a good job of that. Now, it worked here because, as she said, the Sun did their job. Boston responded in kind, as you always do. So that's why I said, here's your flowers to you as a sports town. But my God, WNBA. I mean, some of this stuff, you just got to get out of your own way. You're in your own way. Stop stepping on your own feet. In other hoops news, rumors are Steve Kerr will not return as head coach of USA men's basketball. Now, Steve and I have had our battles on this program, so I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say this. The leaders in the clubhouse, allegedly, are Tyronn Lue, of course, and Eric Spoelstra, who are there, right? It makes sense. They're assistants, next man up. My thought process would be Spoelstra, but both of these guys were assistants under Kerr. They're both champions in their own right. They're both qualified perfectly for the job. So I'm happy either way, right? Now, Kerr, look, we talked about the Tatum stuff on this show. I will forever be grateful to Steve Kerr for that gold medal because Lord knows we almost didn't damn near got bronze, if you think about it. Not even silver. Damn near got bronze if you go back to the Serbia comeback. But so kudos. Thank you, Steve Kerr, for the gold medal. But in the same breath, good riddance, bro. I mean, like, let's move on. I'm ready for Spo. I'm ready for Lou. And I've said this before on this show, too. If one of those guys take the head coaching gig, which we think they will, right? And the next one is the one in line for whatever. You're going to have a spot. Dare I say it? I think Joe Mazzulla should get strong consideration to join the staff as an assistant. And here's why. You have to remember this with him. He's 36 years old. He just turned it. He just turned 36. That is a young man who is already decorated as a coach now, as we know. So, and we also know, because we watch all these games, more than anyone else, in this market, we watch more Celtics than anyone else in the country. look, he's still learning on the gig. I mean, can we be honest? Like, he's a championship coach, great. He's still learning. And that's a continuing process. He's 36 years old, not a ton of experience as a head coach. So, okay, you get him involved now with Team USA as an assistant, and being that young, he can grow. He can get better. Him coaching with Team USA is only going to make him a better coach for the Celtics. He can grow as a coach. He can grow with a lot of these. We talk about the roster all the time. There's a lot of young players, and they're only going to get younger. As LeBron and KD and Steph phase out, they're going to get younger. They're going to draw Chet. They're going to draw these young players, Paolo Banchero and others. So I think it's a good opportunity to bring Joe Mazzulla into the fold, let him grow with these youngins, and then eventually down the road take over as head coach. But just a review, Steve Kerr, thank you for the gold. Good riddance. All right. I feel better now. Thank you for that rant. Let's bring him back. Ante Campbell, who had to check me no longer than 10 seconds into the show for Shut Up and Dribble. Now he's back as we continue our season preview of every team in the league. Was I right? Is it the Lakers today? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we do have the Lakers today, but obviously I got to check you on your rant a little bit.
Oh, come on.
No. You're right again on this one. I have to say, put these women on TV. I want to start there. Put these women on TV.
Come on.
I mean, I'm out here watching 12-year-olds in Adidas jerseys running around barely with their shoes untied and snot running down their nose, hitting the baseball. And don't get me wrong, Little League World Series is a lot of fun. It's great. I
covered it before. It's great.
I love it. But, like, I'm watching the people in the stands eat, the broadcasters eat Uncrustables and all different types of stuff. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing? When we have some real professional bucket getters, chippy, intense action going on, and I'm forced to watch that?
Right. Facts.
Come on, bro.
By the way, can I just ask you something?
Yes.
Have you ever nuked an Uncrustable for like 10 seconds?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest things ever.
Oh, my God.
But also they're so good, like slightly frozen as well.
Oh, I haven't. Okay.
Slightly frozen.
Slightly.
Yes.
Is it better the little 10-second warm-up or the slightly frozen?
Well, I always like the cold peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
I think I have a traumatic experience with warm peanut butter and jelly.
Wait a minute. We need to hear this.
Just, when you're a kid and you have that metal lunch pail or whatever, and you go to school and your mom packs you the most delicious lunch ever, but it has a PB&J in there. And by the time it hits 12 o'clock, it's all warm and your wheat bread is warm and it's like
melted.
It's like soggy a little bit because of the condensation from the drink in your lunchbox too. It's terrible. It's no offense, Mom. Sorry. I loved your lunches, but that I would always probably like eat half or maybe not at all
because it wasn't hitting right.
Right. It just wasn't hitting.
Bro, my kid, my son will not do peanut butter and jelly. Mm-hmm. He does peanut butter and honey, which I've had before. It's not like it's foreign to me. Yeah. But he refused. Like, he doesn't like peanut butter and jelly. He insists every day on peanut butter and honey. I'm like, is this weird or is this normal?
Well, my school was so LA that we had like no nuts at the school or whatever.
So it's like sun butter or something.
Soy nut, bro, I tried that soy nut butter one time. We didn't even get through the full jar. I said, Mom, I'm not eating that, bro. I can't. They were doing the seaweed. I couldn't eat none of that stuff, man. But back to
only in LA, in the lunch boxes, you have vegan and seaweed and God, tofu sandwiches.
Yeah, I grew up with a Southern family. That wasn't flying with me. But back to the coach thing. Obviously I like the Mazzulla take. I would love, what was great about the 92 Dream Team, and I think I talked to you about this, was like having Chuck Daly there, having him be like that sly, almost like greasy. Yeah. I hate to say it, coach, but he's probably doing something on the side, stealing some money, taking some money on the side, whatever.
Embezzling.
But He's cursing out the players. He's poking the buttons a little bit, like, "Hey, Jordan, Magic said he's gonna dunk on you today." You know what I mean? Just to get him fired up.
Right.
We need some of that. So I would love to see Dan Hurley be the coach of Team USA, a guy who's fiery. We've seen college coaches do it before, obviously with Coach K, another guy who's fiery and will get in your face and
I like
do all of
that.
that. So I would love to see Dan Hurley, and he understands the international game really well. So that might be a good
took
coach.
from the international game and brought it to college.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you bring in Missoula and Hurley as assistants, and then they're in place for the future.
Yep.
I didn't even think of that. And to your point, actually, here's where I'll give Missoula credit with that. Mm-hmm. You're talking about having an edge as a coach. Both of those guys have it.
Yep.
Missoula's nuts, bro. He's crazy.
Yes.
So Missoula's crazy. Hurley's crazy. You get that edge there. That's why I like Spoelstra a little more than Lou. Mm-hmm. Although Lou is also qualified. Like,
no, for sure.
If they decide Lou's a head coach, I'm not going to come on here and have any issues.
They're
I'm
winning
say,
regardless.
Yeah. Listen, let's be clear. I want this to be clear on wax here, on record. I don't give a damn if you coach. I'm just ready to move on from Steve Kerr. Okay? I'm rejoicing the day.
Hey,
okay?
Don't disrespect me like that.
I'm just saying. I need Kerr out of my life. So for me, like, honestly, yeah, you have a great point. Like, you need an edge.
Yep.
So I think Spoelstra has a little more of an edge than anyone right now on the staff.
Yeah.
That's why I think he should be the guy. But I love the idea of Hurley and Missoula coming in as assistants.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're previewing the Lakers.
Yep.
I mean, look, man, our Lakers talk starts and ends with the same thing. It's kind of the same old song with them, right?
Yeah.
It's LeBron, it's AD. I know Bronny gets the headlines, where Bronny means absolutely nothing to that team this season at all. Maybe ever, but certainly this season.
Yeah.
He's not good for any more wins. He's not going to cost you games in terms of losses. He literally, here's a needle. See it not moving? That's because of Bronny. So, they have some other decent players, but the only two that matter are LeBron and AD. They both still have plenty left in the tank. I will give AD some credit here, Ante. Mm-hmm. I think he was dubbed, rightfully so, as injury prone. And it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when he's going to get hurt.
Yep.
I will give him credit here. Although he still doesn't, play every game. Who the hell does in this league? A. And B,
right.
He has been in the last, really, I guess since the bubble, quite frankly, he's been more available than what I remember him being throughout his career. Mm-hmm. Of course, bumps and bruises here and there. But for the most part, he is available. He does play. Now, there's been some big spots where I feel like he kind of lets them down in terms of performance. But I can't sit here and say, well, he's, I used to say he never plays. He's never available.
Right.
He plays, and he is effective. You and I are both fans. And LeBron, even at this advanced age, is still absolutely productive and still giving you everything he has left. So I think the Lakers are – I don't believe they're going to be quite as low in the Western Conference standings as they were last year. I think they'll be a little bit higher, or in past few years, actually.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a little bit higher up. They're not going to be fighting, scratching, and clawing for the playoffs. Here's my season preview. Ready?
Yep.
I think the Lakers are a comfortable 6-7 seed in the West, which is saying something. The West is tough. But I think it's at a cost.
Comfortable?
I do. And I think it's at a cost. I think you're going to have to play LeBron and AD more than you'll want to ensure that. I don't think they want to be swimming around in this 8th seed or this play-in tournament crap anymore. So I think they're going to go for broke. Remember, J.J. Redick's there now, inexperienced, not knowing what he's doing.
Yep.
I think they're going to go for broke in the regular season to remain relevant, to sell tickets, to be the Lakers, and then they're going to get matched up with one of those Thunder or Mavericks or damn Timberwolves or Nuggets, as always, and get bounced early and often. That's my prediction for them.
My prediction is not the same. I think that they're going to be a 9 or 10 seed in the West, probably again this year. because their team is just not very good, honestly.
Yeah.
And they didn't get much better. They lost Spencer Dinwiddie and Taurean Prince, who were okay. You know what I mean? They did okay job at, wearing that purple and gold. They brought in Bronny and Dalton Connect, who I don't foresee playing much for either of those guys. Honestly, they already have Dalton Connect at home. It's Austin Reeves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see what goes on with Gabe Vincent and that whole situation. Like, I don't know if he's playing this year. He was not healthy last year. He could probably help them. But I think it's a whole lot of, like, guys feeling disrespected. You know what I mean? They still have D'Lo on the roster, and they tried to trade him more than I tried to trade that peanut butter and jelly sandwich back when I was a kid, man.
What were you trading for, yo?
Dude, whatever. Whatever. I'd have took an applesauce back in the day. But, man, they were trading for whatever they could get their hands on, and the D'Lo trade just never worked out. You know what I'm saying? So,
and now you have Redick.
Yeah. So, my whole thing is that this team doesn't really want to be together. They've been rocking together for a while. They're probably about tired of playing with each other, honestly. Nothing's changing. LeBron's getting older. AD's getting older.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to carry you as much. I don't think this team is better than the Clippers. And we talked about the Clippers a couple of episodes ago.
They're better than the Clippers.
I don't think so. At
Damn.
the end of the day.
How do you think this ends? Like, forget this season. Future, crystal ball style.
Yep.
Let me just ask this point blank. Does LeBron James end his career with the Los Angeles Lakers?
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
Obviously?
I think it's obvious, yeah. You want to know why it's obvious?
LA?
Because it's LA. He does whatever he wants because Jeannie and Pelinka don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, he has his son there who's going to be there for 4 years now.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And LeBron doesn't have more than 4 years left in the tank.
Right.
So this is his final landing spot. I think maybe, he tries to drag Curry into the mix.
Okay, so let's stop down. Anthony Davis is the only piece that they have asset-wise that you can move and get something.
Yes.
Do you believe Anthony Davis is traded before LeBron James' career is over?
No, I think LeBron will retire before Anthony Davis is, the thing about Laker Nation is, and what it's always been is, they've always been loyal to their players. I can tell you that. Because there was times where they shouldn't have gave Kobe money and they did. You know what I mean? There was times when they tried to keep Shaq here and whatever. You know what I mean? When it wasn't going to work out. But with Anthony Davis, he won a championship here. You have to remember that. And
he's still playing well.
And, and there was inklings at the time that maybe he should have been finals MVP of that championship run.
Yeah.
So he was playing extremely well. And Laker Nation will never forget that. So I think that Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker until he possibly retires, unless he was on like that, Tony Parker, like they're not trying to give me $150 million. I got a dip at the end, but they're gonna take care of him and make sure that he gets his number up there in the rafters.
Okay, all right. So then, when you bring up Steph, I just don't see it happening. I know LeBron wants it to happen, but we already know the Lakers and Warriors trade that everyone talks about that didn't come to fruition. So I think that ship has sailed.
Yep.
If you're Steph Curry, why in the hell would you go to LA? You're not going to make the same money there. And I don't know if you're ring chasing at the end. Steph Curry I'm talking about.
Yep.
You're not going to play with LeBron and AD. I'm not saying that's not one hell of a big three, but that's not a guarantee you're winning a ring.
Why not?
I don't know.
I don't see why not. They fit him perfectly. They fit him perfectly during this USA run. You know what I mean?
So you take less money, in theory.
I mean,
if you're Steph, you take less money.
If I'm Steph, I'm staying with the Warriors because it's legacy. There's only a couple of guys in NBA history who started their career with a team, finished their career with the team, and were Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? And won multiple championships with that team.
Yeah,
they gave you Kevin Durant. They gave you, more money when you probably should have been, not getting the contract at all.
Sure.
When you were doing the whole ankle
The
thing,
ankles.
man, they could have gave up on you, and they did it. They shipped Monta Ellis out of there and bet on you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In your career.
Yep.
So this organization is giving you everything, man. They're
Yeah.
giving you whatever you wanted. You got to stay.
I agree. I also think dollars and cents, he can make the most career earnings staying with them forever.
Yes.
And I agree. I think that's a move. And I know Braun would love to play with him. But hey, that's a reason why, like, it was great to see what we saw in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see what that would look like, but we're never going to get that, I don't think, NBA wise.
Yeah.
So
Can I
we're
ask
both
you-
out on the Lakers this
Yeah.
year.
Can I ask you really quickly though?
Sure.
What bets do you like from this Lakers team?
Listen, I made a lot of money betting the Lakers game to game, and I don't mean every game. I mean picking my spots. Now, this was under Darvin Ham, so it's a little different.
Yep.
But that team plays real defense.
Yes.
I mean, like, I think the Lakers play championship level defense, and a lot of that's AD. And Braun, too. Braun's willing to play D. Not as prolific as he once was as a defender, but he still plays it. I bet unders a lot in Laker games. And it was less stressful trying to figure out if they would cover or win or on the money line or any of that nonsense. I just took the under. So a lot of times when they would play a defensive type team, I just bet the under, man. I didn't care how low the number was. It was low for a reason, and I bet the under, and I still hit it.
Yeah.
But as far as futures, and I know I started the show with, a bunch of futures for the Celtics. That's because the Celtics are good and predictable. The Lakers are not, other than, and by the way, I won't jump on the unders early, Ante, because I don't know what the hell J.J. Redick's going to have these boys doing. I thought Darvin Ham brought a culture of defense, and he couldn't coach much else. So I would bet the unders. So I'll wait and see, but I'm going to bet the Lakers on a game-per-game basis, depending on matchup.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm actually really going to go in on the NBA Cup for the Lakers again. So championship plus 3,500 for them.
No shot.
Winning West Group B plus 350. And then LeBron, NBA Cup MVP plus 5,000. I think I might be willing to parlay it. And it's only because of this. LeBron is a cheap dude. And he has the opportunity to play one game really hard and make a bunch of money. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. We've seen what he did in the Olympics in a short game span. That's basically what the NBA Cup is, short games. And he's going to be able to take control of a one-game elimination type of situation. And I think he has the opportunity to repeat for the Lakers here. LeBron. I'm betting on LeBron. That's it.
How funny is it that some of your richest people in the world are the cheapest? It's just ridiculous. Me, I tip everyone, and it's no wonder that I'm broke as all hell, I guess. Hey, for all the latest on the Patriots, check out Foxborough Rush. It's available on Nesson's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you get your podcast. And make sure to follow us on all your social media accounts for all of our best content. All right, what do we got next, my friend?
So next I want to talk about some high school mixtapes. Now, honestly, we've been putting this conversation for a couple of episodes because we've had so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But man, high school mixtapes have been just being thrown at me on Twitter. I seen the Vince Carter one the other day.
Oh, wow.
I seen a bunch of guys, man. So I wanted to know, what are some of your favorite high school mixtapes?
Well, I didn't see the Vince one. Listen, I always go back to like what I've lived and what I've covered, right? So I'll give you two that I covered.
Yep.
I remember when the Wizards had the number one pick, and John Wall was really the consensus. Like, we all knew they were going to take John Wall long before they took John Wall. And I had watched him in Kentucky, but I didn't know much about him in high school. And I remember just like all of us in the DC media at that time kind of doing our research. A lot of them already knew about John Wall, but I remember watching his mixtape in high school. And like, oh my damn. And then hearing his story as the draft got closer and we were getting to know him, him and his sister growing up down there in North Carolina were so poor, Ante, that his sister would have basketball practice either before or after him, I can't remember, and they would swap shoes. They shared the same pair of shoes for practice. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
And then so knowing that, and then seeing his mixtape hit harder for me. Mac McClung was another one, Virginia kid. who went to Georgetown, later transferred out. But, I mean, he was, it felt like in high school he's playing against future plumbers, but at the same time he was dunking on all of them, so it was exciting. And then Zion, who I am convinced definitely played against future plumbers and substitute teachers, but it was cooler because he was just dunking on them and just embarrassing them at every step. And that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Those are three that kind of jump out to me.
Yeah, Zion is definitely a great one.
Oh.
I definitely had him as a guy that I highlighted, and I had two guys that I like as well as Zion that did a lot of the similar things. There was a guy earlier on who was like Zion to me. I remember watching his mixtape. He's from the Bay Area. Aaron Gordon's mixtape was ridiculous, Travis.
I bet.
Ridiculous. When I tell you, man, when I knew he was going to Arizona, I almost became an Arizona fan right then and there.
I bet.
Bro, his handle was so tight at his height. He was stupid athletic, doing like between the leg 360s
Big dude,
and
too.
in the game. He was doing everything. He was blocking the shot so hard, like how Zion was sending shots at Duke. Man, it was crazy. And another guy that was super athletic, doing a lot of the same stuff, Andrew Wiggins, man. Andrew Wiggins, high school
Canadian?
mixtape. He's from Canada, but
Yeah.
he went to Huntington Prep in West Virginia.
Okay.
Bro, he was ridiculous, bro.
Wow.
He had that dang spin move. Bro, I wanted that spin move so bad.
Did you
'cause he
work
would
on it?
He would be so tight with it. Like the
Yeah.
handle was crazy. And it was so quick. He was so athletic. His second jump was nuts. Like it was like, okay, he'll go miss it like a weird floater, jump up, go get it over everybody, and just get back off the ground again and go dunk on somebody. I'm like, bro, this dude is a freak. I thought he was going to be a Hall of Famer.
Well, hey, listen, you know what's crazy? Both Gordon and Wiggins, those teams in the Nuggets and the Warriors have one less championship without those two.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about that. Both of those guys literally were key pieces, key cogs in the machine for those teams to win titles. So, hey, maybe they didn't reach Hall of Fame levels, but I tell you one damn thing, they're both champions, and they were absolutely critical pieces for that to be possible. What else we got, brother?
Yeah, you were talking about Hall of Fame level, and I actually got some Hall of Fame probability via Basketball Reference that I want to kind of go through with you.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I got here. I want to see if you know the only 4 players, active players, with 100% probability of getting in the Hall of Fame.
Damn
Can
it,
you
man.
name the 4?
I didn't think we were playing a game today. And
It's
here
a
we
little
go.
bit of a
You
game.
know I'm bad at this. You said 4?
4.
Active players.
Yep.
I mean, Bron,
Yep.
Steph,
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Who am I missing? Is it Jokic?
No, it's not Jokic.
Okay. It's a good guess, though.
is.
Maybe Giannis?
No, it's an older player. I'll give you that hint. A guy
Older?
that we
on his
wouldn't-
way out.
Yeah, on his way out.
Who?
Chris Paul.
Oh, God. I would have never guessed that. But it does make sense.
Yes.
Let me put some respect on Cliff Paul's name.
All right. Can you name the 5th player who's at 99.9?
Jokic.
No.
Giannis.
No.
Shocked. Who?
It's got to be James Harden.
Oh, my. I'm done.
Get back in the chair.
I mean, please. At what? Hall of Fame at what? Late night creeping?
Oh, my God. Yep. 99.99%, actually, to be fair to James Harden. All right, and then I have a little game that I want to do, higher or lower. Tell me which guy is the higher
Probability.
of the two. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So of the 2 players, there's Derrick Rose and Donovan Mitchell. Which guy is higher?
I mean, it's Donovan Mitchell's higher, but Derrick Rose, had he not got hurt, would clearly be higher. But Donovan Mitchell should be higher.
Yes, that is correct. Donovan Mitchell is higher at
He should be.
12.8%.
Hey, by the way, Derrick Rose is a better player.
What about Kyle Lowry and Klay Thompson?
Clay, you better not tell me no damn Kyle Lowry has a higher. Come on, bro.
Kyle Lowry has a higher probability according to
Now
Basketball
I'm gone for real.
Reference.
This is ridiculous.
Oh my God, at 85.7% to get in, Travis.
Boy, I'm about to cuss on TV. You know my children be watching.
All right, what about the former teammates, Kawhi and PG?
I would actually think PG has a higher percentage because he's even though they both get hurt when the wind blows. I feel like PG has done more. He's come back from more. He's more likable. I'll go PG.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
97.8% for Paul
They'll
George.
both get in.
91.3 for Kawhi.
Right.
All right. Now rank these three players, okay, in terms of who has the higher probability
Okay.
of getting in.
All right.
You got Jaylen Brown,
Okay.
Julius Randle, and Brooke Lopez.
Jaylen Brown 1. Julius Randle and who? Brooke Lopez. I mean, I actually think Brooke Lopez actually low-key might be 2 on here.
Okay.
And then I'll go Randle last.
You are completely incorrect.
Oh!
Julius Randle has the highest percentage at 1%. Jaylen Brown at 0.7% is number 2. And then Brooke Lopez at 0.3% is number 3.
Disgusting.
And then last, I got to ask you this. Marc Gasol or Devin Booker?
Come on. D-Book. Come on. What are we doing?
D-Book is correct.
Come on.
48.9%.
I mean, come on.
You're pretty good at that, Travis.
It's a damn gold
I'm actually
medalist.
surprised how great you did on that. That was
Damn
pretty good.
gold medalist. Show some respect.
All right, and we promised this, okay?
Oh,
We're going to finally talk about this Jaylen Brown song as we're finishing up our last segment here.
oh,
This song dropped for you guys today
oh.
with ASAP Ferg.
Who I love.
Travis and I have already heard it.
Oh.
Travis gave his thoughts. He doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it.
Who are the NBA players who you think are also the best music artists?
Listen, not a lot of people heard when Allen Iverson rapped because it was like mixtape style and it was back in the day and it was, you know, it wasn't like music is now with the streams and all that. It was gritty and grimy and grainy. Even the sound was grainy and he could rap. I think his rap name was like Jewels or something like that.
Okay.
He was fantastic. I think Iverson to this day, I think it's the best hooper I've ever heard. He was fantastic. Shaq, I got to give props to. If I'm not mistaken, Shaq has a lot of records that sold and all kinds of stuff. I like a lot of his songs that he did back in the day.
Yep.
You told me D Wade rapped with Rick Ross and was good. I trust you. I didn't hear it yet. You sent it to me.
Yep.
So I'll throw D Wade on the list. Kobe could not rap, but at least he did like pop records, so I respected that. I'll tell you one damn thing. Jaylen Brown, this ain't for you, Jack. This was awful. He sounded, I wanted to take a nap. I wanted to take a nap. Like, it put me to sleep. Like, bro, you don't even have a personality to be rapping like this. It was boring, slow, and terrible.
Man, why you gotta do JB like that, man?
I
He said
love him.
he tweeted that he's having a great summer. All right, leave that man alone. Let me give you my guys that I liked. All right,
all right.
These guys actually will listen to these songs unironically. So Damian Lillard has a couple of records.
I'm tripping.
That I do like.
Me
that
too.
Are out.
Me too.
Victor Oladipo actually has a song out with PNB Rock that I like called "Connected." He sings, not raps. He sings.
I know.
He's a great singer. I love his music.
He's a what?
He's a great singer. I love his voice.
I gotta go
Can't
back
lie.
home, so I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. Shout outs to Deep.
And then Ron Artest made a song, "Moment of Silence for the Champions." You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
After he won the championship with the Lakers, kind of like how JB's making a song called "Just Do It." Probably a little nudge at Nike with that one after he won a championship. But Ron Artest's song is actually good. And then Kevin Durant had a song this year. Yeah, he had a verse this year on the song called "Scared Money" with Staley, which I think is a DMV rapper, if I remember correctly. So, yeah.
Can you tell me how Kevin Durant did?
Nah, he was fire. You gotta listen. Yeah, after the show, we're going back into the office. You're listening to that.
All right, fair enough. All right, hey, Tay, thank you as always, man. You never fail to amaze me, my friend. We'll see you on the next Hold My Banner. Hey, by the way, we'll close with this. Jeff Bezos out as a potential owner for the Celtics. And I say, duh. I mean, every time any of these franchises in any sport is for sale, of course his name's thrown into the hat because he has all the money in the world. I remember when the Washington Commanders were for sale and everyone was saying he was going to buy them. You know what I think happens? And Ante just said this with LeBron. These rich guys, some of them are cheap. And they got rich by not spending all their money. So even though he has all the money in the world, I think he saw the price tag. He said, I can't have my own arena, Prime Arena. I'm out. And you know what? It's probably a good business move. So who the hell knows who's going to buy the Celtics? We know who's not. And Mr. Amazon himself. For all of our best content of the day, make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. For Travis Thomas and Ante Campbell, thank you for rolling with us on Hold My Banner. Till next time, when we hold it again, peace!